We live again?
Should be.
Nice.
Let's see.
Let's see, what is this? The third episode of the Vault?
Yeah. Yes.
What do we,
did you hit on Substack to go? Yes. Okay, live now. There we go.
Let's go.
Open up the chat.
As you guys, anybody's watching the recording of this, you can see we're very prepared for this.
That's the way we do it. It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be totally.
Yeah. Well, the point of all this stuff is, like I said in my note, is just to get us. We talk about this stuff all the time. We have so many really fun, awesome AI conversations, and then we just let them die in Slack. So we wanted to just start turning on the mic a little more often, and share that with everybody that decides to watch. Show them what we're building, show them what we're thinking about. There's a lot of stuff today. A lot of stuff that happened in Claude. Like my Claude was down just about all of today.
Mine was down on and off almost the whole day too.
Yeah.
And so if those who watched the other ones before and haven't met Lil Zane, this is Lil Zane. He is the brains behind everything that we do. He's probably the smartest tech guy I've ever been around. So I think, what was it, last week or the week before? He was at my house, we were sitting at my
Last week,
living room table until 1 a.m. And he was just watching me attempt to code stuff. So
you're the most non-technical right now. Props to you.
You were breaking up there.
You're the most brilliant non-technical coder right now.
Oh yeah, that's my pride in myself. Man. I just brute force my way to solutions for sure.
Front end Max is what we call them.
Mm-hmm. That needs context for sure. All right. What do we want to show off today? You want to show off? Go ahead.
No, I've been playing around with Remotion all day, so I could share that. But yeah, no, we've been doing a lot with Claude Skills and testing out Claude Cowork a bit more. But yeah, got a lot of cool stuff with. So Remotion is like came out. I don't even know when it came out. It's just it allows you to create video animation. So I saw a post on X about it yesterday morning and just dove in and just tried to figure it out. Yeah, I'll show you guys what I made. Let me get my screen going here.
And from what I understand, I haven't tried it yet, but I really want to try it. From what I understand, like this is taking the ability to now to create videos just via natural language in Claude Code. So it's creating the videos in real time with AI by just typing in to your terminal and telling it. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that, but like telling it what you want, and the videos are generating live, and they look really, really cool. Let me see if I could put what's the website so we can give people remotion.dev. So
yeah, remotion.dev. Bring my screen up really quick.
And if anybody is watching this and they're watching it live and you have any AI questions or anything, please put them in the chat. We love to troubleshoot live, get us out of our own echo chamber of just giving each other the things we're working on. So if you have questions, we're happy to do it. Help you through them, help you create prompts, whatever you need. Let me see if I can find the X. Show you what other people are working on too.
Okay, let me bring this on stage.
Yeah, it's making.
All right, there we go. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so this is the site. You know, I saw it because somebody posted. Let's see, where are they? Gotta find the Remotion tweet I have in my bookmarks. Let's make sure I don't lose that one though. Yeah, so I saw, I don't know, not this one, sorry. Yeah, I saw this yesterday get posted, and it just caught my eye. It was like super cool. And I, now that I've played around with Claude Code enough, whenever I see this like agent skill and then I see the little code to install it, I'm just like, okay, I think I can do this, because I've done this a couple of times now, but I didn't really know what I was getting exactly into. Like I saw this video and I'm like, okay, this looks pretty interesting. And then I ended up going, in the same thread, they shared how they created the video, and they shared their prompt history on this GitHub gist. And so I looked through this, and what I actually did was I actually just popped this link over to Claude and just started having a chat with it to have it explain it to me. And what it kind of broke down was that essentially what they're doing is using I guess React to like, so this video is just a lot of images one after another just strung together, and then with code to basically speed up or slow down like how the images kind of come in and come together. So that's at least my like really basic understanding of it, but it's really cool because it looks like a video when it kind of plays all together. So I used I copied the gist. I went to their site, and then I went to Claude Code and just started having a conversation with it this morning to just figure out how to make this work. And what I ended up doing, let me see if I can pull that up for you guys.
While you're pulling it up, Lil Zane, I mean Big Zane. We have Lil Zane, Big Zane. What I guess what I want to point out is that because of AI, like as you saw, all he saw on X was a line of code that he kind of recognized a series of things. So it probably said NPM or something, like just a few things. He doesn't understand what that is. Like meaning like he didn't write that code. He's not going to go write that code somewhere else. But he's able to then take something that was very technical, just give it to AI, ask a few more questions to understand it, and now he's in here from this morning. I think you said you found this right when you woke up, and you had your own video. I think you're gonna probably show in a second.
Yeah, but I want to kind of show like the process that I went through. Right, I took that link and the website, and I basically went to Claude Code and just started having a conversation. And so the first thing I usually do when I'm trying to understand it is I kind of told Claude Code, like, I'm a total beginner. I don't know what this is all about. Can you kind of start explaining it to me? And I had it look through all of the Remotion documents that are on their website, right on this link where it's remotion.dev docs. So I provided this to Claude, and then I had Claude actually then come up with a prompting guide for me with it, knowing that I'm a relative beginner, and so it's kind of explanatory here. So so it does, knowing that, it does cool things. Like it like first explains to me what it is. It's React plus video. So instead of using traditional video editors, you basically write code and it renders it as video frames, and then the AI handles all the code. So we just kind of describe what we want, and like, why is this great for me is like no video editing required. It's reproducible results. You can kind of control it programmatically, so you can do templates, data-driven videos, and the skill knows all the best practices. And then it basically just tells me how to get started. So it walked me through it step by step, and then showed the prompting framework for how to write a good prompt for Remotion. You can see it breaks it all down, and this is all just based on their documents again, right? It is all information that's just available, and Claude is just reading that and then putting this together for me. And so it put together this really comprehensive document. And so and honestly, I didn't even go through the entire document because I was just so excited about testing it out. So I created the prompting guide and went back and forth and had a conversation, and then I developed. Let me find the video here. I was actually working on another one, Max, but I'll show the one I sent this morning. So,
And even if you hadn't done all that, you could have still just loaded the skill file and told Claude, hey, make a video, and it would have known what to do just because of how great the skill is.
yes. And yeah, with a back and forth conversation, essentially what I wanted to do was I wanted to create a little video for Prompt Depot, which is, I think we showed it last time, but I'll just pull up the site again. We're about to launch it. But what I was trying to do was, this section all the way at the bottom of the site where we have the find, customize, use. I thought it'd be cool to like play around with doing a video component for this instead of just having these static images. So that's kind of what I fed it. I gave it a screenshot and I said, this bottom, how it works. I wanted to make a video for that. And I'll show you guys what ended up building. Let's watch it. So super cool, right? It's like you can add music, you can add kind of any like all the scenes you want. I had it go find me sound effects for mouse clicks and typing as I was going through it. And again, I was doing this at 6:30 in the morning, just on my laptop while I was making coffee and just kind of just going back and forth with this with Claude Code, just saying add this, change this, add a mouse click, keyboard clicks, and it eventually came out with this really, really cool motion graphic that now I think we're gonna use on the site. So
Yeah,
just
great
goes to
for
show like
launch
how,
videos.
yeah, it really is. It's so cool, right? It's like I just can't even imagine how much time it would have taken to even put something like this together before. And yeah, it's just, again, it just amazes me like every week just how much you could accomplish if you just kind of experiment and play around with this stuff.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like the custom animation, that's actually one thing I feel like has been missing from a lot of the AI generated type stuff. And I see the request all the time is like, I just need a quick animation for my site. And I think there's some decent stuff out there. Like with Motion, I think .dev is pretty good.
Yeah.
Even that's a little bit technical, as I tried and failed using it a few times. But this is, and again, what did they launch this week? So I'm sure it's going to get
yesterday.
better.
Yeah.
Then people are going to, if you were able to kind of describe, I know it's a little more technical, but that means it's going to be copied and there's going to be a lot of these out there. So like, this is a new thing that you're going to have the ability to do, is just create these custom animations just by describing what you want.
Yes. And to that point, Max, what I did next then was I kept going down the rabbit hole. And so I ended up creating a prompt generator for Remotion. And then what I was just finishing up before we got on the live together was I actually went ahead and I created a whole skill that does the whole thing end to end and actually like walks you through step by step. Because the problem for me was actually, it's like I don't have the ideas of what I wanted to create. So I kind of just made the Claude skill to have different modes to say, okay, I'm just going to give you like a real generic idea of what I want to do, and then have it actually come up with 3 different concepts for the video, storyboard it out, then come up with the prompt, set up the folder for me, and then build it all out. So super cool. I literally just finished this right before we got on the live, and I will put this in our community. So if you'd like to grab this, like definitely join Beware the Defaults, and this is the kind of stuff that we're building in there. So I actually was just building us a little intro video. I'll show you guys this. I haven't even looked at this draft yet, but I was making this so we could have an intro for our lives. Let's take a look at it real quick. cool.
It's very cool. And the fact that you can do that without having to do all the complex video editing and staging or something like that is insane.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure, Lil Zane, that like this probably looks even more insane to you because you know all the coding and the what actually has to happen for this, or at least used to have to happen for something like this to be possible.
No, definitely. And the fact that you can just do it in seconds now and don't even have to know, like you can say, hey, make a video for XYZ. And to Zane's point, like pull in the sound effects, do all of that without having to find it and be aware of all that knowledge is amazing.
Yep.
Super cool. Zane, Big Zane, do you have Granola or one of your transcript tools running right now?
No, I do not.
Do you? Well, do you have any of your...
StreamYard does though.
Yeah, I was gonna try to do something live. Mine didn't actually. It's like one of the first times that I don't have mine recording. I was gonna try and do something fun with what you just described too.
Make a tutorial.
Yeah, I was gonna make a quick tutorial out of that. We'll get it for you guys afterwards.
Yeah, but
yeah. So I mean, again, I think just thinking about the process you went through can be applied to anything that you guys are working on with AI, right? Like,
yep.
You see something you're interested on, you take whatever that initial thing is, and you start that conversation with AI, right? You just start asking questions about getting a basic fundamental understanding of what it is. But not only what it is in context to your specific situation, how it's relevant to you, how you could use it. And then the other thing that you did that is always very helpful, especially when you're working with a new tool or anything like this, is asking AI and or giving AI what are called the documentation files. So if all these different apps, or not all, but majority of them have what are called documentation files on their site, which is all the technical stuff that none of us besides Lil Zane probably read, right? And so by giving it that to AI, then it understands how it all works, how it all speaks, etc. So when you're working with it now, you now have the brains of whatever you're working with, to then help you create the next thing. So
exactly. And almost every single tool, like Max was saying, you'll always see, they usually have it in the toolbar or in the footer of the site. You'll see the docs, and all you have to do is just provide the link, and you can start having a chat with Claude, and it'll explain it all to you.
And if you're doing it over and over again, saying you did something really good with like generating a SOP for using it, so you don't have to keep referencing the docs every time. You kind of synthesize it up front, get that information, save it, and then it can reuse it every other time you want to use it.
And honestly, I was moving so fast to make the skill so we could have it for the video. I asked it to put a bunch of stuff in. I haven't even looked through it completely, but because I actually had it come up with a use case library for me, because just to like have ideas, right? So I want to kind of go through this to see like what it actually even came up with, like what you could use Remotion for. So yeah, it's cool. It's all right. So product launch announcements, feature update videos, testimonial social proof videos, demos, comparisons.
So, and that's pretty like you just did that quickly, so it's pretty generalized. But so when people are saying like I don't know what to use AI for, like this is a great example of, okay, let's find out about whatever this is, you know, the tool, AI, whatever, give it the context it needs about you, and then ask for the use cases. I think AI is most powerful. I mean, you hear it all the time, like it's all about context management, right? Like or context. It's so important. But the more you can give AI about your specific situation, and we try and hammer this home as much as possible because it's so important, the better AI is going to perform for you, or the better the answer is going to be. So I would say think about that with everything you're doing. Always give it as much context as possible. And if when you think you've given it enough, ask it to ask you questions about what else it needs. And I'm always shocked by when I do that. Like it asks me questions about certain things that I realized I didn't clarify, that if I didn't answer, that means AI is just going to assume and go off guessing, right? It's going to go off in a certain direction just based off of its assumptions, which it can or may or may not get right. So Getting all that stuff, getting the context, getting it to ask you the questions is super, super helpful.
Yes.
And to me, that's all, you like prompts are awesome. They're great to use, and you should definitely have a prompt library. But to me, that is what prompting is, right? Like when you see how a prompt is structured, how a prompt is set up, it's set up in the way so that you're consistently giving AI the appropriate amount of information. So you don't even have to know anything about prompting. As long as you're giving AI the context that it needs, it's gonna work much better than just about everything else out there. And Zane, little Zane, you probably understand prompting better than anybody, but so I'm curious how that resonates with you.
Yeah, it's basically just SOPs, especially for something like AI where possibilities are endless, and you really have to narrow down on what it is you actually want to do and are trying to do. Prompts, context, and all of that is so important. Even like just yesterday, I was trying to fix up some of the bugs in Prompt Depot. I had AI triage a couple of them, and the assumptions it made about what the bugs were in terms of how it was looking at the code and everything were not the bugs that I actually wanted it to fix and how they were presenting. Like I had to interview me, ask like 20 questions, keep going until it had all the context it needed, and it worked so much better. You really have to get down to what information the AI needs to interpret your claims.
Yep.
Yeah, super cool.
Cool. All right. So who wants to share?
Well, we talked about skills a little bit, so it might be good. Let me at least put this in the chat for you guys, because we talk about skills all the time, because skills, they may sound scary, but they are not at all. All skill, like to me, the best way I think about skills, if you guys didn't see this last week, like the best way I think about skills is it's almost like a portable GPT to me. Like it's a file that will live on your computer, live inside your Claude account, and can be called upon, or will actually be called upon to work in any, like a specific situation that you tell it to. So you can either say, hey, use this skill, and a skill is really just a single prompt or a combination of prompts in knowledge files with it in this specific situation. So if I have a skill of very simple, like thinking, hey, I have a LinkedIn writing skill that's going to have, hey, this is how I want all my LinkedIn posts to look. Here is, and then inside that skill, it's also going to have a full file of examples of my LinkedIn posts. It'll have all my brand guidelines. It'll have everything. So also files. But anytime I'm in Claude, I could be on my phone and just open up a chat and say, hey, use a LinkedIn writing skill. Or I could say, I want to write a LinkedIn post, and it'll know to call on that prompt, and I won't have to remember to prompt it every time. So I would just think about them. Anytime you're doing any repeatable workflow, just turn it into a skill. And creating a skill is so easy now too. So,
Yes.
So I just put in the chat that'll, if you just open up that anybody, it'll it's a quick tutorial on that, just a step-by-step, but it's super, super easy.
Yeah, and Claude has that built-in skill creator skill, and especially because like most times I see people keep going in the same chat when they experience like AI actually understanding what they wanted to do. But chat's compact, you get context loss over time. So if you ever see AI do something right, or you just capture it, say, hey, turn that into a skill, and it'll be repeatable every other time you want to run the process the same way.
Should we just demo creating one real quick?
Yeah.
Because I'll share my screen, then I'll share something else right after.
Yeah.
I think it's good just for people who aren't familiar, just because
Just to see
every
how
time we
you-
think everybody knows this stuff, like we think skills are old news now, and then we realize they're not. So let's add to stage, and then we're gonna let's just create a new. So if you want to get started in skills, what I would actually do, now that Claude has memory, right? I would literally just start here and say, based on everything you know about me from memory, what would be the number one Claude skill I should create? This should be interesting. So even this, because now Claude has memory. So if you want to get started and you're working in Claude that has memory turned on, obviously, just try this. This will give you a good one. It'll go through your stuff. It'll probably, based off of your past chats, I'm sure you're doing some form of repeatable workflows. And so based on there, the cognitive fingerprint, yep. What it looked like. So the reason it's asking me questions is back to what we talked about earlier. In my settings down here, I have, if you're ever unsure about something, always ask me additional questions before creating output. So that way I don't have to remember to do it every time. It'll always just remember to do this. So this is for you. This is for demonstration. Again, I just want to show you guys how easy it is to, what people think. Geez, too many. Meta thinking. So you can see how I'm prompting. It's not much because when you have stuff, this is now just, I think for those who saw it last week, is when you have the skills installed, especially, you don't have to do too much. Just, we don't need all this.
Yeah, it's incredible how intuitively easy it is actually when you start doing it.
And so everybody, if you have a Claude account, should have a Claude Builder skill, a skill builder skill, as mad as it sounds.
They're saying that 5 times fast.
Yeah. And so all
do you
you have
wanna,
to do,
well, Max, you could, well, once it finishes building, you could show in the settings, like all you have to just do is go in your settings and turn it on. It's already there.
So I'll show them that when we install it.
Oh, do we lose Max?
It was Max.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going in and out because of, I fixed the memory issue, but it still caused my browser to restart. But I guess we lost Max too.
No. Where'd you go, Max?
No, I'm good.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, you're still there? Oh, okay. I was like, we lost your screen.
Yeah, I kicked my power cord out from my monitor. It killed everything.
You got to add your screen back on.
I do. Let's see. Sorry.
There we go.
There you go. So you can see it creating, and all a skill is a literally the instruction file you give it is a markdown file. A markdown file is the same as a text file. The markdown is just what AI really likes to read. So as you're, it just works really well. It's formatted perfectly for AI. So it creates it as a markdown file. Those markdown files you could take and you can send to people. So another good thing about the skills is if you just Google Claude skills now, there's be a million things that pop up, or you could download them. You could sell them. You could do whatever you want with them. So it's really cool. Just be careful of who you download it from, because it comes in a folder, and who knows? There's bad people out there. So, well, Zane, as this is loading, how do you think about protecting from malware and that type of stuff with stuff like skills?
Quadrity does a really good job because it loads the skill initially, ensures that whenever it's executing code specifically, it always executes it in a secure environment. It doesn't execute it directly on your device, especially in chats over here. So Quadrity does a really good job of kind of screening everything. And that covers pretty much most of it, but you always just want to do a quick glance at the, make sure it's not like having a skill to remove all your system files or anything, which wouldn't work because permissions would be blocked. So.
All right. So you saw it got created, right? And this is all it is. What it's showing you here is, if you want to be able to see, it's giving you a version you can look at. The very top part of a skill right here, it's the description. So this is what they put it at the top. So when AI is scanning, it knows exactly what the skill is and when to use it, right? And so it'll always scan these to see, like, if you're just in a chat and you don't even say use the skill, if it still matches the description, it'll pull it up, right? And so all I did here is I downloaded the skill, and it comes in a zip file. So you just go down to settings, go into capabilities, and then just make sure that all these suckers are turned on for you. And then everyone down here will have skills, and everyone should have I have too many skills. This skill builder skill, everyone should have in here already. And so all you do is hit add, upload a skill, and I don't know where I put it. I think I have a sort by date. And you upload it. You want to upload the full zip. You don't want to unzip it. And then it's installed. So now I could use that in any chat. So the Claude thinking, like this meta thinking demo, in any chat, I could say like, do you have the Claude skill meta thinking demo? And it'll have it and find it. So like, just like you tell it to run any kind of prompt, like these are just prompts that you always have, you don't have to think about.
And it's even better than most prompts, because prompts typically, it loads everything at the start, versus skills, it loads progressively. So if there's like step-by-step instructions or anything, it'll follow it in the steps you're giving it, and make sure it doesn't load the rest of the content until it executes that specific step.
Mm-hmm. And you can attach, like I said too, is you can attach other files to that skill. So meaning usually when you just prompt, you're just prompting when it's just the text that you're giving it. But with a skill, you could actually attach knowledge files to it. So I was creating some marketing skills yesterday for copywriting, right? So normally you just have your normal copywriting prompt, but with a skill, you could actually put all the different examples of really good copy of whatever that type of copy is. You could put other stuff by the frameworks that you're using, all that stuff that you wouldn't be able to fit inside of a normal prompt to make it so much more powerful. Cool. And you guys got anything else on skills? I'm just going to kind of show them one of the dashboards I'm working on, because I think it's really cool. And then Lil Zane, if you have anything, let's get there.
Yeah.
All right. I started showing this last week, but I'm making progress on it. So I wanted to show this up. So can you see my dashboard?
Yeah, well, that's super cool.
So I'm in the middle of a cohort teaching. I'm just calling it the Cognitive Fingerprint Reboot. It's a bunch of people who've already gone through the process, but started the year. Let's get you rebooted and get you some momentum going into it. And so, how it currently works, or how I currently do this, is have everyone send me all their files, and they're stored in a Google Drive. And I'm just sending links around, and it's just not a very easy process, right? And there's so much good information in here too, like that you have to retrieve with all your prompts and stuff. Not only that, is like the course, like as I'm teaching, I'm doing once a week, I'm giving out a lot of files. There's videos, there's all sorts of stuff. So because I already get people's cognitive fingerprints through working with me, I'm already collecting a lot of data on them. So I could personalize the experience for them a lot more, instead of, again, hey, we just had that class, go to the Google Drive, download the files, how I'm currently doing it. I was like, all right, what if I actually just created this from scratch, everyone's own personalized dashboard. So this is one person in the cohort up top. Now they know they have their own dashboard that they log into. They can register for the next call. You can see that they actually have the cognitive fingerprint. I can show you how well it's set up. It has their process. I give them just daily tips in here. But underneath here, here's all the course materials. So right here, they can watch the first week. Here's another one, the video. It has all the stuff I gave out here, where they just come in here and download it. I gave out a bunch of skills last week for that. But not only that, is it also has a lot of their Claude skills that I've created with them. It's got their different prompt library, some more skills that I could just give people, and then an AI assistant where they could talk to any of it. So now, that's, to me, that's already pretty cool. But what makes it even cooler, if you ask me, I hope this works from my screen, is I created an admin dashboard where I could track everything and track all the people. But since I have everyone's information, and you could, all people have to do is give you some basic onboarding information you want. You don't have to make it as intensive as mine. But because I have that, instead of just saying, hey guys, here's a new prompt, go try it out, or here's a new workflow, here's a new fill in the blank, I can actually select, all right, let's say I want to give out a prompt. I could say, I want a full deep cognitive fingerprint match. So meaning like it's going to be, I want it to match exactly how that person thinks, etc. All the stuff. I'll select who they are, or I could select the entire cohort. Then I'll put in my prompt or whatever it is here, and I will create a push that will send it to everybody's dashboard, but it'll push it to them all in a very customized way just to them. So it's now gives me the ability to customize content, prompts, and anything I do at scale. So like just with the push of a button, everybody inside the cohort will get their own workflow, etc. So super cool that this current cohort is my kids, I guess, for them. But I just see this as like the whole new onboarding experience I can do for everybody that I work with is some form of, so they come in, they get their whole onboarding experience, uploading all their files. The system learns about them and then tracks their stuff, and then is able to feed them a completely personalized experience.
So that's really cool, Max. It's like, I mean, you're able to pretty much like send one prompt out, but then it's almost like a one-to-many type of model, which is really cool. It just wasn't really possible before, right? It's like imagine if you want to send a personalized email to 12 people, you're going to write 12 different emails and need to kind of customize it. Like now you just have AI in the background customizing all of that. Like that's so powerful. I mean, I could just imagine for anyone if you just apply that thinking to almost like anything you're doing where you want some level of personalization, like something like this could be really, really cool. If I think about like sales or customer success or just any kind of those type of roles, you can have a really interesting, or even with your team, like you can send out the same update, but then, customize it a little bit for the audience.
Yeah. It goes back to context, right? Like the more you can tell AI about all the people in your group, the more you could tell them all that stuff in advance. Like, so I almost see this as, okay, the course just ended. And then, everyone usually sends out the normal materials and the summary and all that kind of stuff. But I could, like, the next step for me would be, okay, the course is done. It takes the transcript and then it feeds it back to that person, or it feeds it back to every single person individually in the way that they like to receive that kind of information. So yes, I taught the course live for everybody, but then the transcript and all the materials that came on the back of that would all be then distributed for those individual people and how they like to learn and take in content. So I think just that type of education, that type of communication, I think is just so powerful and so.
For anyone teaching anything, like this is incredibly powerful. How many hours did it take you to kind of get to this stage, just so people get a sense of like the level of effort?
This is, I would say, I mean, I had it pretty good, I would say last week, but I just keep adding more and more features. So it's going scope creep. I mean, I probably put 20 or 30 hours at least into this. But again, now that I have this, we like internally are already talking about all the different things that we could do now just with this dashboard, this ability to customize stuff for other people. So now I could just give Lil Zane the back end of this. He could duplicate it, and then we could apply it to a million different things. So even if you think about that, when you're building custom solutions for yourself with AI, you own the code. And so anytime you want to do something like that, something different, make changes to it, use it for an entirely different program, you have the skeleton of that and all the hard work done. And now you're just swapping out a few things. And so it's that in itself just becomes super powerful, right?
Yeah, it's even better than just documentation files. You have like a real living example that it could just draw from, see what worked, see what didn't work, and learn from it and improve.
Yeah. I mean, a good example is we were creating some other dashboards for something else. And when Lil Zane was over here, he's like, can you just give me, like, I like the look and feel of this one. Can you just give me all the components, meaning all the design and all the files? So like all the, these little like boxes at the top, or like even like the sidebar on this thing, like we now have those components, right? That I could just give to him and he could customize for anything he wants. So combine that with generative AI, like it gets super powerful.
Yeah.
Front end Max.
Still no context.
Still no context. So yeah. Well, Zane, does anybody in the chat have anything, any questions? Anything? I think I saw Ryan there. He's got to have some questions in there. But yeah, well, Zane, do you have anything you want to show? I know your text message stuff was really cool.
Yeah,
You
I can
got a
show.
lot.
It's actually skill heavy, so I can show that. So, give some quick context. I've been working on my digital orchestrator to kind of do. I think we're calling it Project Morpheus potentially, but to kind of control all my digital life, handle things. I'm always bouncing between school work and development work, so it's easy to lose track of time. So I have my personal assistant, which is like linked into all my information. And so when I say, hey, summarize my messages, or check my email, or give me a daily briefing about XYZ, it can instantly go retrieve that information, collect it all in the background, and then synthesize it for me. And so I don't have to do any of that, and it can take action as well. And I'll give it.
So are we looking at like, you're just communicating to this via text or like a text message, or like how are you communicating to this?
Yeah, this is just over text. I have a server running in my on my computer right now. And eventually we'll deploy it out and stuff. But yeah, it sends the message over. We're using something called SendBlue, which supports the iMessage sending, because this is not my phone number. And I send a message out. It connects to my coding or my server, and there's a coding agent that's assigned to it, and it replies, gathers the proper information, and synthesizes it, and then sends it all back to me. And the very cool thing about this is, let me switch screens.
There's me knowing a little more about the use cases that you could actually do with something like this from just your phone. There's a lot of really cool things about this. When you start thinking about again, going back to context, what context are you hooking up on the back end of this that you're able to then have an agent call on and then provide you is really, really cool.
Yeah, and the coolest thing about this relating to skills is all of the capabilities load a skill file for that specific use case. So for my iMessage, in this case, it was a skill file showing what tools it needs to read, kind of the capabilities that it has with that specific tool, and the best way to return, and like kind of what I want to see from it, the ideal workflow, example queries, and when to use which tool. And this saves a lot of time, because Claude would normally spend time trying to figure out, hey, like what tool should I use, or how should I synthesize this? What's best for the user? But this gives it a very repeatable SOP in order to just know what to do every single time I say, like, yeah, check my text messages. It just loads the skill, follows the instructions, and yeah, returns the results.
That's super cool.
And same for pretty much all of the capabilities. Like Notion is one of the more complicated ones, but even here, it knows when to invoke. This one actually, it calls a sub agent to do the complex queries versus just doing very base level queries itself, and knows how everything works for Notion.
So that, like, yeah, it's incredibly powerful. What are some what are some use cases you see out of that? I know they're like infinite, but just so people, because what you showed is awesome, also super technical. So like thinking we're going to dumb this down, and you were to give this to somebody, say a business owner, like what would be some really good use cases that they could use this for, I guess is what I'm trying to get.
Yeah, business owner. One great example is, hey, you get out of a meeting, or you're about to get to a meeting, and either want like a pre-read of the meeting, like let's say you were jumping between a bunch of stuff before, or you have the transcript after the fact and want to process it and add action items to your calendar. It can do those complex workflows that maybe normally be a bunch of individual steps and having to query a bunch of data externally, and it instead turns them to a very fast process that they can just kind of chain together. It'll run the transcripts, use Whisper on my computer to transcribe it if it's a voice file or audio file. It'll then run it through whatever extraction prompts we have for meeting summarization and action item extraction, and then post results to me, or directly add any follow-ups to my calendar, or let's say if I wanted to send an email out about it to everyone that was there, it can just send the email on its own.
From your phone, right?
Yeah, I'll just, from me just sending the message or the voice memo over iMessage and saying, hey, do this, and I don't know what to do.
So yeah, so like some of the other ones that are coming to mind is if you're a business owner and like you're in the car driving, you could just say, hey, create, and it's not just, hey, give me the Monday weekly status report from the business, which you can. What's great about this AI and the way it's set up, it's, hey, I need to see all of last week's sales numbers, but combine that year over year and then see how that's doing against competitors versus expectations. And then give me a competitive intelligence report, put that in a report and let me see it. It's not just like these predefined, hey, I go if X then do Y, like very linear automation style steps. It's very, I need this thing in a very specific way combined with X. Give it back to me in a nice report that I can read on my phone.
Yeah, very, very outcome driven. And you just make sure it has all the tools to do whatever it needs. Like, let's say instead of having it report like a really long text message or document, you just wanted to have it be a text to speech or voice memo. You could use, like Zane, I know you've been playing around with the audio generation this week. You can use one of those models just running on your computer to say, turn that into a voice memo and send it over to me. So I don't even have to read through it. If I'm driving into work, it can just say it to me when it generates the report.
And then you could say, and then from that, you could say, hey, blah, 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 the insight number 3 was really important. Take that in my tone of voice, take that insight, reformat it, and email it to everybody on my marketing team.
Yeah. And if you have your style of voice and everything documented, it can use that and apply it when you're sending emails or texts or anything. And if you want to review it before it sends, it can prompt you for approval and all that as well. So trying to get AI to deliver the outcomes you want without having to worry about all the steps and in the way you would normally do it.
Yeah.
It's really powerful. Yeah. And it's like you don't have to leave the places where you're spending most of your time anyways, like your messages. And yeah, that's actually really nice, because I think that's the biggest friction point is like you download a new app and then you have to just make it a part of your workflow and change your habits. And yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I think
go ahead.
No, I think that's some of what
I think that's something we're all like really big on though, is creating AI so it fits into your life and not the other way around. And and Zane, you've really got this in my head too, is so much of the reason AI adoption fails, I think, at a lot of these companies is you're forcing people to change the way they're working and forcing your new way of doing it on them. So the other way around it is, let's figure out how you're already working and create an AI that fits into that, right? Like if you're not already an AI native company, then trying to just force your systems onto something that's working already, but you know you can make better. People are just going to default back to the way they've always done it, right? The way that works. If it takes too much work, if they have to click too many times, if the data is not appearing in the way that they like to see it, it's just, they're not going to use it. So
yeah, absolutely. It's habit change is hard. Change. Yeah. People don't like change. Sorry, Zane, I interrupted you like 4 times.
No, you're good. We kept trading there for a second. I forgot what I was going to say anyway, so no worries.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything?
You're trying to see any questions in the chat? No.
Yeah, I think tomorrow. So today, actually, Notion agents came out, which we were lucky enough to get the alpha version, not even the beta version, like the alpha version of the Notion agent. So we've been using them for a while. And so Tam, who's our Notion guru on our team, in our community is going to be doing a Notion agent demo tomorrow, which I'm really excited to see, because the stuff she's already set out for us is it's incredible. Like you should, our Slack channel, just even like a small example of just even our Slack channel is just completely changed, where every morning now I go into Slack and it has my weekly or my daily briefing. It catches me up on all the stuff that we talked about in our Slack chats yesterday, like all of that stuff. Like it's just kind of served me. And at the end of the day, it gives me another one. It's like, okay, what do we get crossed off our list today, et cetera. And it's all done in a personality that we've designed that we like too. So it's super fun.
Did it officially launch? I know it like showed up in your beta time access, but I still haven't seen.
I don't. Yeah, I'm looking at Reddit right now, and it looks like some people are posting they got beta access.
Oh, I guess I'm a beta.
But we got it. We have it in our team.
Yeah. Well, either way, it'll be coming soon. So
yeah,
if anybody's curious, I put the link to our community in there. You could try it free 7 days. If you don't like it, take the training and leave. Take the prompts and leave. But I think you will. Some cool stuff in there.
Yeah.
And just the extendability too. Like I figured out the API routes for Notion agents, so you can even invoke them in Claude Code now. I can do a quick demo on that if we still have time.
Yeah.
There's.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You got to do Claude Code at some point.
Yes. That'll be a fun one.
I think this demo will be. I'm excited to see this. So while you're setting it up, Zane, can you just kind of give a 30,000 foot view of what you're talking about? Because I know even that's a little complicated. Like what you just said.
Yeah, so Notion has those. You can do custom agents in Notion. So let's say you have a specific use case, like where Max mentioned the daily briefing and kind of tracking of to-do items and such. Notion agents can kind of do those repeatable workflows and tasks, and can have specific pages that they output to in a strict format they follow, kind of like skills, but upgraded to a whole agent. And so I took an existing Notion, there's tons of Notion MCPs, and I kind of built on top of a lot of those to make sure when you're working with AI and in Claude Code and outside of Notion, that it first of all understands how Notion works, where everything is located via indexing and embedding, all those fancy words, and even like the templates you have for certain pages and the databases you have. And it's able to take action and work and even invoke custom agents and communicate with them. If you're, say, like building a PRD, we have a PRD builder, and it can communicate with it just from Claude Code. So if I'm in development and like are wondering, hey, am I supposed to implement XYZ feature, or I'm trying to just have my coding agent run for 6 hours or something, it can just keep querying Notion, updating maybe a task database about what needs to be done and receiving the specific knowledge about how it needs to be implemented, and just retrieve the knowledge and work.
What I'd say is, what you told me earlier too, that I think is important, is there are current Notion connections to like Claude. So you could connect Claude to your MCP or API, but it's not semantically searchable, meaning, yes, it can go and it can find the files, right? Like, but it doesn't know how all those files are connected to each other. Or it doesn't know as much about the context of files. And I'm doing a really poor job of explaining semantic search, but the basic idea is it makes your search way smarter than if you just had Claude try and talk to Notion as it stands right now.
Yeah, it's the connection between things. And one thing I noticed when using the current Notion MCPs is it didn't have, if you were trying to like create new files or pages, or even like search for existing ones, it couldn't always find it reliably, and also create new ones or update pages in the same format that exists. So this allows it to do that. Let me query. called meeting notes or something like that. But so let's say it's meeting notes, and instead of meeting notes being the database name, it's actually let me just do this. But instead of meeting notes being the name, it's actually meeting notes database or task database or something that's very similar. This search feature will allow it to find it. Yeah, meeting notes cadence without having to, like, even if it was a meeting database or something, it would have this understanding of what the page actually is and relate that back to my question.
And so what I also think is powerful about this is when you have the ability to connect Claude Code to Notion in this way, you then everything that you have in Notion now could be connected to just about anything else, right? Like, because Claude Code is like almost like a general purpose, all everything agent essentially that you could talk to, that then you give all the information that you have in Notion and you could then connect it to anything else, right?
Yeah,
Did I
it's
do that part or I get that one right?
Yes. And my demo is not working as well because I'm not using it as an MCP. I have these packaged as tools, and my tools are malfunctioning. So next time for sure.
Demo failed. No, so we get when we do it live. Oh, that's cool. It's yeah. I know you'll figure that part out, but I'm excited to have it because then, like, you just go think. I already have that dashboard I showed off a little bit ago, where I'm using that to customize everything for everybody that's going through a cohort. Like, now I also have the ability to, and I already do this, but in a much smarter way, use Notion as the backend. So all I have to do if I'm creating any kind of training is put the training inside of Notion, and everyone's gonna get it on their dashboard. Or I can connect. If I see a YouTube video, I could just use the Notion web clipper, save it. It goes to Notion and then gets pushed to everybody in the cohort.
Yes. And even stuff like if you had templates for pages or like databases for, like, I know we have a database that has someone's email in it, and you wanted to query it and have it summarize. It'll be more token efficient. Like, it'll do it in the proper way and strip all the unnecessary content. And when it's actually writing back to Notion, it'll work with their block structure, the page structure, actually understand that and know how to insert properly.
Exactly. So, like, again, using all of Notion's capabilities, right? Or I mean, all Claude Code's capabilities, you have the ability to write to Notion too. So, like, if you have to go off and do all this research, you're collecting all this different stuff, or doing a whole bunch of data analysis that is super heavy that only an agent like Claude Code can do, you then say, okay, now take all this and go put it in my Notion database, right? Or write it and put it in this format, or make it fit into my existing format that I'm working with. Which is super cool.
Yeah.
I was doing something similar with that in Airtable last night for something else, which was super cool too. But cool. Anything else you guys got?
No.
Wrap it there.
Yeah, we're right about at the hour, so it's good.
Cool. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna be doing Notion agent demos tomorrow. Tam even showed an insane workflow of like using that plus Slack to create an insane, almost like personal, like executive assistant for yourself that communicates with your entire team. All the stuff that you see people charge quite a bit for, like, you could just do it now with these Notion agents that'll coordinate tasks to your team, book them on your calendar, put them in different places. It's super cool. So
yeah.
So if anybody wants to see that, come check it out tomorrow. Put it in the group.
Yeah, we'll drop the link again there. Oh, you did. Cool. All right. Yeah, Max put the link in the chat. So awesome. All right. Well, cool. We'll wrap it here. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
All right. See you guys.